Hey, bud. So here are the first 5 games of the second set of your match with Nathan. Nice job getting the W here. You just beat a 10-5. And a match where you lose the second set and win 10-8 in the third set tiebreaker is a match that could have gone either way. So you deserve to have this win help your confidence. This video is essentially about why you could have won 3-3 instead. So there's a couple important lessons to take away from this match that I want you to really start thinking about on a daily basis. The start of the second set is always a big deal, no matter who won the first set. And um, if you want to win more consistently and beat, guys UTR 10 to 11-5 level players, when you play them, you've got to develop your game plan and your strategy against each opponent specifically and habitually. For you, playing straight up against most guys is a recipe for plateauing at the level you're at right now. So you've got to look for weaknesses in your opponents at all times, like you're hunting after it. And once you find something, you've got to be all over it constantly, almost every point you play. So the first set ends, you win it, and I don't understand why you're taking a long break. So Nathan is pissed off, and um, momentum is a real thing for people inside their heads. And momentum is also fleeting, so you're kind of letting him settle down. He's upset. Now he's taking 5 minutes while you go get water, and now he's kind of relaxing. In this situation, I'm taking 20 seconds or less, and I'm walking to the other side, bouncing around, looking like I'm ready to play because I don't want to give him any time to get over his feelings about losing the first set. I want him starting the second set in a bad mood. So in the first set, you beat him playing straight up. I did not see a strategy or a game plan catered specifically to making Nathan worse than normal relative to what he always normally is. You served pretty well. You made a lot of returns. You played high percentage aggressive tennis most of the time. And Nathan looked a little overwhelmed by the wind and by the heaviness of your shots. And that's great for you, but with no tangible strategy specifically drawn up to make Nathan uncomfortable, that forces him to do things he's least comfortable doing, then it's tougher for you to sustain that edge over the course of an entire match. And the reason for that is guys get used to your serve and your power from the baseline and all the spin and all the heaviness. They get used to it. And so many of them, if not most of them, start to play better against you as matches go on. It should be the other way around. They should start to play worse as the matches go on. And this is why, in the past year or so, you've against guys at this level, you've been winning some and losing some. Against 10 to 11-5, you can beat all those guys, but you can also lose to all of them, and your record shows that. You've been practicing with Nathan all week, and here in this moment, as you're walking back to taking your sweet ass time, giving him a chance to start to feel better before the second set begins, um, you just played a set against him, so you gotta know something about his game. You gotta At this stage you should know a lot. And if I'm playing Nathan right now, I know he's pissed off. He's not handling the wind particularly well, and he's making a decent amount of errors. But I also know that the only thing that he has hurt me with at this stage is his forehand. And about half the backhands he's hit have either been weak or erratic. And also, on windy days, it's tough to be accurate all the time from the baseline. And that means that it's tough to hit good passing shots because the vast majority of passing shots are require you to hit on the move into tight windows under time pressure. That's not easy in the wind. This is the toughest thing to do. So because of all that, I'm doing 3 things to start this set against Nathan, the second set, until he either breaks all of his rackets or I win before that happens. I'm hitting 90% of my returns to his backhand. I'm serving, probably 70% of my serves to his backhand. I'm hitting a ton of high bouncing shots to his backhand, particularly with my forehand. And I'm coming in on his backhand as often as I can. And whatever else I do is either a decoy or something to set up one of those 2 things. There's not a ton of nuance in there. It's a pretty simple game plan. So let's see what you did. So here, Nathan hits a weak second serve. You make the return. Nathan hits it up the middle, and you hit a nice inside-out forehand for a winner. And this graphic shows where I'd be targeting every possible return that I could within reason. Nothing to feel bad about here. Nathan hits a good serve and a nice forehand, but this is why you don't want Nathan hitting surplus 1 forehands. So here, at the end of this point, you're telling yourself not to slice that backhand. You're right. But if you have to slice when they're at the net, you need to usually lob it. Occasionally, you can pull off a short angle at their feet. So because you play this next point totally straight up, the same against Nathan right here as you would against anyone, this is the point where Nathan started to feel much better in this second set about his entire game. Why? Because he hit a whole shit ton of forehands in a row. So the choices you're making here with how hard to hit and the arc and the pace, they're all good. But any one of those backhands should have been hitting down the line after the return. So that way you can get into a forehand exchange, going heavy and high topspin to his backhand and eventually make your way in on his backhand. Here you hit a nice return at that target I was showing you. But you got multiple chances to hit heavy balls to his backhand and it just doesn't happen. So eventually, he kind of gets you with a good forehand here. So in your first 2 service games, to start this second set, you made Nathan hit 5 forehand returns and you made him hit 6 backhand returns. I can see myself doing the same thing in this situation, but if every time that I'm serving to his forehand corner, I'm doing it so I can set up my +1 to his backhand and started going in and attacking on his backhand. So of the 5 forehand returns you made him hit, 3 of them he did damage on you, and 1 of them he missed, but your serve was too good, and another one he missed was the let court. And of the 6 backhand returns you made him hit, he missed 1, he made 1 deep cross court, and the other 4 were either short or weak and short. And as matches go on, you want to take note of these kind of things. This next service game here for Nathan was huge for him, getting him back into this match. The points played out mostly the same. He hits a serve and then as many forehands as he wants. And because of what he got to do and the shots you gave him, he's just about always going to play his best tennis in this scenario. So in these first 5 games to start the second set, Nathan hit a total of 29 forehands. That's not counting returns, and a total of 9 backhands. You hit 2 approach shots in that span, and both of them were to his forehand. So by allowing him to play to his strengths, you're kind of playing with fire a little bit, because you're giving him a chance to reclaim, at least in his mind, his normal level or potentially even his best tennis. And if you couple that with a drop in your own level at all, a few loose errors creep in here and there, a few shots don't quite get placed the way you want them to be placed, you miss a couple returns, you have to hit a few more second serves, make a couple loose errors in your service games. This is how you let people back in the match and give them hope and maybe even restore their confidence. So here's another short return from Nathan's backhand return. And he hit a nice approach shot. But this next point right afterwards, right here, this is the point that I mean, this is how I would have been playing every point against him, like the whole match, the whole time, all the time. But here, you start with a nice serve to his backhand. You hit this heavy forehand, pushing him back to his backhand side. And I'm not surprised he missed this one that you sliced to him, because he has shown to be prone to make errors when you throw variety his way. So usually hitting your second serve into the body is not going to work against forehand dominant players, because they're just going to run around it all day long like this, and they're going to hurt you. So next time you play anybody that's clearly a forehand dominant player, hit all your second serves to your wide. Okay, so after Nathan hits this best serve of the whole match, he literally misses a backhand under the bottom of the net. If that doesn't tell you to start hitting everything over there, I don't know what will. Here you got a nice return deep to his backhand, but you got two forehands in a row that you got chances to hit that high, heavy topspin, pushing him back to his backhand corner, and you just hit up the middle, and he takes over with the forehand instead. Here you hit the right return. Even though you don't get it deep, it's still the right shot. Nice defense, getting it back deep with this slice to draw the air. But again, this last point, Nathan starts off with some forehands that do some damage, as they have been, and he's just feeling better and better with each passing moment, because he's getting to hit more and more forehands. So a couple things to focus on moving forward. The start of the second set is always a big deal, and you've got to either have opponent-specific strategies going into your matches, or develop your strategy in the first 6 to 8 games of the match.